NMH at 1 highlights the news making waves, ranging from current affairs to community stories, sports, as well as economic news. Here are the headlines. Fire breaks out at Swakopmund State Hospital's mental health ward. Call to release Rebebe's workers from custody. Oshana Police commander applauds community participation in addressing crime. I am Ashwin. Follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 in Namibia. Let's swing over to the midday news update. A fire broke out at Swakopmund State Hospital's mental health facilities on Sunday. It is alleged that one of the patients, a 26-year-old Namibian male, set the state's property, including beds, bed sheets and mattresses, on fire with a match, which resulted in the ward being partly damaged. It is alleged that the patient demanded to be released to go home, and when the nurse on duty refused to give in to his demand, he allegedly went back to the ward and set it on fire. Police in Swakopmund Municipality Fire Brigade officials attended to the scene and successfully extinguished the fire, which has caused damage to the value of 26,000 Namibian dollars on items in the facility and an underdetermined value of damage to the hospital buildings. Visual News highlights local stories from across Namibia right after the break. Stay with NMH at 1.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Speaking at a police event in Oshakati, Oshana Police Commander Commissioner Naftal Lungameni Sakaria mentioned that the police and the community have established a good yet frank approach on dealing with crime. He also spoke about how they managed to address crime issues with the limited resources at their disposal.
If we want to realize our vision, we will need each other in our efforts to combat crime. I always say the combating of crime is a matrix of variables, a complex machine with moving parts. And if one component stops, the machine may proceed, but will fault. This position is made clear to all members of the force and the public of Oshana. It is based on the Namibian Police Force strategic plan. Yes, we might have challenges, but we turn most of them into opportunities. General said, numbers don't lie. If you look at the numbers, we were able to make significant dent in crime in this region. We have managed to almost completely eliminate this phenomenon, because we came up with a strategy by engaging stakeholders and the public at large, and we come up with solutions. Housebreaking for both residential and business premises has significantly went down. General said, we still have challenges. Issues of mobility is not unique to our region. Issues of manpower that is being addressed, we understand that. Issues of urbanization, say growing towns, Oshakati or Ndangwa or Mediva, it's a good thing for development, yet a challenge because urban moves closer to rural, and then crime, especially stock theft and all these other funny things, starts to happen. Lack of police facilities. If you look at Oshakati, you have one police station. If you look at Mediva, one station. So it creates congestion. If you go to our church offices, you find a lot of people. We have to try double up on the task to assist everyone. But those are some of the challenges.
Stay with NMH at 1 as Namibian Sun leads us into the newspaper review segment after the break.
Hi Sonia.
Hi Tufeni. What are you reading?
I'm reading about the Child Care and Protection Act. in this pamphlet I got from school.
What's that?
It is Namibia's main law for the children and the issues affecting them. The Act classifies here that a child is anyone under the age of 18 years. Check out some of the rights meant to protect you. For more information, contact the Children's Advocate.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
All right, let's get into the newspaper review segment. Rundu community activist Franz Moyo has called upon the state to release 6 people arrested after money was transferred into their bank accounts, allegedly by fugitive Nico Rebebe. The former Bank Windhoek employee stands accused of stealing millions from his employer. Moyo said the 6 who were allegedly promised jobs as farm workers by Rebebe and made to open bank accounts into which their salaries were to be paid should be treated like witnesses, not criminals. In my opinion, these are victims of Rebebe. He found people to trick so that he could channel his money, and they fell victim to it through them looking for employment, he said. That was the front page of Namibian Sun. On page 3, the Institute for Public Policy and Research says mandatory SIM card registration is a tool to conduct mass surveillance and not necessarily to address crime, as the Information Ministry claims. This follows calls that every cell phone number must be registered by 31 March or face being disconnected from the network by mobile operators MTC as well as Telecom Namibia. We move over to Republican. The paper reports that white male farm workers are the only Namibians that must pay land tax and cannot apply for any exemption, a government notice has revealed. The notice issued by Valuer General in the Land of Reform Ministry, Rudolf Nkanuseba, stipulates who may benefit from land tax exemption application procedures. According to the document, land tax exemption is issued as provided for in terms of the Land Reform Act and as contemplated by the Namibian Constitution. Namibians who are eligible to apply for land tax exemption are those previously disadvantaged and those farming on agricultural land used for non-profit or gain activities of a church, mission, hospital, school, or hostel. An Environment Ministry employee who stands accused of corruption was granted $3,000 Namibian bail after he made his first appearance in the Rundu Magistrates Court yesterday. Johannes Alfico appeared before Magistrate Sonia Sampofu, who postponed the case to the 25th of April pending a Prosecutor General decision on whether to prosecute or not. Alfico elected to conduct his own defense. According to the acting commander for the Kavango East region, Deputy Commissioner Eno Nambau, Sampofu was arrested last week in Rundu's Tuhingireni informal settlement. On Agomana Zeitung's front page, another oil discovery in the Mopane area. Gulp Energia from Portugal not only announces another oil discovery, but also wants to expand the target area at the first discovery site. Gulp operates the PEL 83 petroleum exploration area off the coast of Namibia. The controversial Namibian Knowledge Kati is also involved in this discovery via Custos Energy. Beat Leprosy. World Leprosy Day celebrated is celebrated annually on the last Sunday in January. The theme for World Leprosy Day 2024 is Beat Leprosy. This theme summarizes 2 aims of the day: to eliminate the stigma associated with leprosy, as well as to promote the dignity of people affected by the disease. Stay with us as we continue with the Namibian after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
We continue with the Namibian newspaper. The Grootfontein municipality paid its former chief executive officer, Kisco Simvula, $2.9 million Namibian dollars, a decision that has been criticized by a council member at the northeastern town as a waste of public funds. This settlement is among other negotiated deals that the municipality was locked in worth around $9 million Namibian dollars since last year. Simvula was suspended in March 2022 after being accused of 27 charges ranging from abuse of authority, fraud and bribery, and refusing instructions. On the paper's page 3, the man convicted of murdering the two top executives of the Namibian Institute of Mining and Technology at Arandis in the Erongo region in April 2019 says he is ready to ask the High Court to record the proceedings in his trial were irregular and not in accordance with the law. Ernst Lichtenstrasser said this during an appearance before Deputy Judge President Hosea Angula in the Windhoek High Court yesterday. We move over to New Era. About 70 learners from the marginalized San community in the Omaheke region qualified to study at institutions of higher learning in the country. Omaheke Regional Development Planner in the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare, Desiree Masheshe, confirmed to New Era that the qualified learners will be fully funded for their further studies. She emphasized that the funds will be released once the learners get admission at the tertiary institution of their choice and in the field of study of their choice. On the paper's page 3, the Rehoboth Town Council has shed some light on the town's financial challenges, particularly the mounting debt owed to NamPower, Namibia's national power utility, amounting to a staggering 190 million Namibian dollars. The Hardap regional town has been grappling with financial constraints, and the council's debt to NamPower has raised concern among residents and local authorities. The debt has accumulated over the years, leading to increased scrutiny of the town's financial management. Now we move over to Market Watch, where B2 Gold Corp plans to spend $33 million about 619 million Namibian dollars in capital expenditures in the Oshikoto mine in Namibia this year, the Canadian-based company said on the JSE yesterday. The announcement coincided with the release of B2 Gold's quarterly results, which showed Oshikoto produced 81,111 ounces of gold, and this was in the fourth quarter of last year. This is a quarterly record, B2 Gold said. Production from the Wolfshag underground mine remained consistent through the last quarter of the year, it added. Now, the period for public review of an environmental investment assessment report for preliminary test mining work in the Omaheke region has been extended. More on this after the break.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
The period for public review of an environmental investment assessment report for preliminary test mining work in the Omaheke region has been extended. According to Stampriet Aquifer Uranium Mining Association, the public will be able to comment on the Wings project until 23 February. The deadline was extended from 24 January after due process was seemingly not followed. The company is exploring the Stampriet Basin in Namibia to discover new sandstone uranium deposits potentially suitable for in-situ leaching-based mining method, the EIA read. Salma said on 12 January its management committee by chance discovered that Headspring's relevant documents had been added to the EIA section of the Environment Ministry's website. These documents include the EIA and Environmental Management Plan, the Environmental Compliance Consultancy initiated in 2021. A considerable number of Salma members had been registered as interested and affected parties and provided comments and questions during public stakeholder meetings. It said Namibian legislation prescribes that before an applicant submits a report compiled in terms of the regulations to the Environmental Commissioner, the applicant must give registered, interested and affected parties access to and an opportunity to comment in writing on the report. Let's head over to the indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 18.81 next to the US dollar. 20.36 gets you €1. 1 British pound costs 23.86 Namibian dollars, and for 1 Chinese yuan, that'll be 2.62 Namibian dollars. Selected NSX stock closing prices on the page maintained their value. Overall index closed down minus 0.83%. Looking at commodities, gold managed an uptick of plus 0.27%, trading at 2,036.59 per ounce. Now, Angola has denied links to a vessel attacked by Houthi fighters, while South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma has been suspended from the party he once led. Stick around for news from around the African continent.
Hi, Kambaripa.
Hi, Melissa.
You look upset. Is everything okay?
A healthcare worker refused to attend to me because I visited the healthcare facility without a guardian.
Healthcare workers are not allowed to do that. This sounds like a job for your shield of survival.
Huh?
Your rights, they're your superpowers. Your shield of survival is your right to life, health, nutrition, shelter, and an adequate standard of living.
For more information, contact the Children's Advocate Namibia in the Office of the Ombudsman on 061 20 73 111. Send us an SMS on 20401. SMS costs 40 cents. You can also send us a message via our Facebook page. Remember, the services of the Children's Advocate are free of charge.
South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma has been suspended from the party he once led after refusing to vote for it and launching a rival organization. The governing African National Congress announced this decision on Monday. Zuma and others whose conduct is in conflict with our values and principles will find themselves outside the African National Congress, said Secretary General Fikile Mbalula. Zuma's 9 years as president from 2009 were dogged by scandal. An official inquiry said the former president placed the interests of corrupt associates ahead of those of his country in a process known as state capture. After he left office, he was jailed in 2021 for not appearing at the inquiry. He also faces corruption charges over 1999 arms deal. He denies wrongdoing in all cases. Despite these issues, the ANC had tolerated Zuma, but the creation of a new party that may pose a threat was deemed a step too far. The party Umkhonto weSizwe, meaning Spear of the Nation, shares a name with the ANC's former armed wing he once served in. In a scathing letter, Zuma's former ANC bedfellows accuse him of debasing the proud history of armed struggle against the apartheid regime through the opportunistic use of military symbolism. They also say MK only exists to erode the support base of the ANC. Angola's state-owned oil company Sonangol has dismissed reports that a vessel targeted by Houthi fighters last week in the Gulf of Aden was a part of its fleet. The tanker with links to the UK was on fire for several hours last Friday in the Gulf of Aden after being hit by a missile fired by Houthis. The Iran-backed movement based in Yemen said it targeted the Marlin Luanda in response to American-British aggression. The dismissal came in response to reports by Angolan media outlets linking the Marlin Luanda vessel to Sonangol. Sonangol informs the public that the Marlin Luanda vessel, recently hit by a missile in the Red Sea, is not part of its fleet of company-owned or chartered vessels, the firm said in a statement seen by the local media. Marlin Luanda operated on behalf of Singapore-based commodity trader Trafigura, flies the flag of the Marshall Islands. Trafigura is one of the main suppliers of diesel and marine diesel to Angola. It is also a shareholder in the Puma Energy Company, which controls the Pumangol petrol stations in Angola. Other shareholders in Puma Energy include Sonangol. Stay with us as we swing over to international news. Hong Kong's government said it has started work on new national security laws and intends to pass the package soon, 4 years after China imposed sweeping legislation in the wake of massive pro-democracy protests. John Lee, chief executive of the semi-autonomous city, said on Tuesday that while Hong Kong as a whole looks calm and very safe, it still had to look out for potential sabotage and undercurrents that try to create troubles, particularly some of the independent Hong Kong ideas that are still embedded in some people's minds. We can't afford to wait. It's for 26 years we've been waiting. We shouldn't have to wait any longer, Lee said at a press conference, describing it as the city's constitutional responsibility dating back to its 1997 handover to China from British colonial rule. Officials announced a public consultation period for the new law, which will begin on Tuesday and end on February 28. The security law, mandated on Article 23 of the city's mini-constitution, will cover 5 additional offences: treason, insurrection, espionage, destructive activities endangering national security, and external interference. News from the world of sport follows shortly.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
In local sport, the Nedbank Namibian National Time Trials and Road Race concluded last weekend, with local cyclists in various disciplines receiving the honor of bearing the national cycling jersey. The cyclists Kevin Lowe, Roger Surin, Delcia Janse van Vuren, Monique Duplessis, Ferrelusa, Alex Miller and Driekus Coetzee received Namibian national jerseys that will enable them to represent the country in road race events. Namibia's top elite cyclists Miller, Coetzee and Lusa made headlines by winning in their respective race categories. In the elite men's road race, Miller claimed the title in a photo finish victory over his main rival and 2023 champion Coetzee to claim the 2024 national jersey by split seconds. In a small village nestled in the heart of the Zambezi region, the Bukalo annual soccer tournament stands as a beacon of hope and unity. Reflecting on the tournament's origins, Mayumbelo recalled tumultuous years leading up to 2013, marked by a surge in youth crime and alcohol abuse in Bukalo. Faced with these challenges, concerned community members, including Mayumbelo himself, sought to channel the village's energy into a positive outlet. Over the next 11 years, Mayumbelo served as the annual soccer tournament's chairperson. Let's move over to international sport. Moussa Niakate missed his penalty in the shootout as holders Senegal tumbled out of the Africa Cup of Nations after a drama-filled 5-4 loss to host Ivory Coast following a 1-1 draw at the Charles Konan Bani Stadium in their last 16 clash on Monday. Senegal were quick out the blocks and took the lead outside 4 minutes, but Senegal could not add to their lead and paid the price when the Ivorians were awarded a clear penalty and equalized through Frank Kessie 4 minutes from the end of 90 minutes. Ivory Coast will now face the winner of today's ties between Mali and Burkina Faso in the quarterfinals on Saturday. The Ivorians were in disarray just days ago, hammered 4-0 in a record loss in home soil by Equatorial Guinea. They were on the verge of elimination and sacked coach Jean-Louis Gasset, replacing him with assistant Imers Faye. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta said on Monday he was upset about reports that he would leave to take over at Barcelona, whose coach Xavi plans to quit at the end of the season. The Barca links emerged on Sunday, a day after Xavi announced he would be stepping down, saying the club needed a change. "What you read yesterday is totally untrue. I'm really upset about it," Arteta told reporters on the eve of Tuesday's Premier League game at Nottingham Forest. "I could not believe it. I don't know where it's coming from. It's got no source. There's a lot to do at Arsenal, and we all share that ambition. We want more, we aren't satisfied, and the club wants another push to go to another level," he added. And Rafael Nadal's championship point-winning racket from his 2007 French Open final victory over Roger Federer was sold for more than $118,000 at an auction yesterday, ranking among the highest-priced such memorabilia. Nadal beat Federer in the 2007 final in Paris to win his third Grand Slam title before the Spaniard moved on to secure a further 14 of them at Roland Garros, becoming one of the sport's greatest players. If you're just joining us, this is NMH at 1, and we'll get into the highlights shortly.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindel Kahan.
Sy sê wie is er aan neertrek en hy bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat. En as hy
but just enough next.
Shh. Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
You're still with NMH at 1, and these are the highlights from the news broadcast. South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma has been suspended from the party he once led, this after refusing to vote for it and launching a rival organization. Hong Kong's government said it has started work on new national security laws and intends to pass the package soon, 4 years after China imposed sweeping legislation in the wake of massive pro-democracy protests. And in a small village nestled in the heart of the Zambezi region, the Bukalo annual soccer tournament stands as a beacon of hope and unity. All right, those have been our stories on NMH at 1, the place you are assured to get the latest stories from Namibia, Africa, and the world. From me, Ashwin Bedi. See you tomorrow.